If you're someone like me that uses Claude Code a lot for designing, you're going to love this update by Claude. We've all been using Claude Code to design beautiful websites, social media posts, carousels, and whatnot. But the thing was that up until now, our process was give the prompt, get the result. There was no middle layer. But now, with this new design skill, Claude Code can generate editable artboards. Yes, you heard that right, like the one you're seeing on screen, where you can easily make changes. You can change the text, you can change the overall colors, you can mess around with the layout, you can tweak whatever you want. Not just that, you can use this artboard to imagine. Basically, you can ask Claude to come up with different variations and concepts, you can compare them and choose the one that best suits your use case, without getting Claude to build everything from scratch. And with this new editable artboard layer, you will not only be saving a lot of time on these designs, you'll also be designing better. Because now for the slightest change, you don't have to ask Claude, you can do it yourself. By the end of this video, we will be generating a complete social media post and a complete website using this exact workflow. So if you're ready, let's get started. For anyone who's new to my channel, hi, my name is Yashica Jain. I'm the founder of Automates AI, wherein we have been helping businesses adopt AI. We have been helping them identify the opportunities where AI can help them the most and then helping them implement that. And on this channel also, I do something very similar. I talk about AI that can be used in the real world. We stay away from the AI hype and talk about the real world use cases. If you're interested, do not forget to subscribe. And for anyone interested in working with my agency, the link to it is in the description. So now that you know me, let's get started and let me show you the tweet that Claude had made on this new design skill. So here's the tweet by Claude about this new design skill. So they're saying that Claude Code can design now. Well, we were using it for design previously, but thank you for letting us know. So the new design skill brings Claude Design's Artboard workflow into the CLI and desktop built on artifacts. In simple language, the new design skill will now let you generate artboards. You can access this from the terminal and the desktop app, and Claude Code would essentially generate artifacts which would contain the artboard. To access it, you have to run the /design command, which is going to get you the editable artboards, from where you can pick one, you can tweak things, and then have Claude implement it. So you can start using this skill if you're using Claude Code as a terminal, or you're using it from the desktop app, or even on the VS Code extension like I do. If you don't have Claude Code installed, or if you're not able to find the /design skill on your setup, what you can do is you can install Visual Studio Code. Once you're in, click on Open, create a new folder, let me just call it /design, open it, then go to Extensions, search for Claude Code, and simply install it. Then you will spot Claude's icon at the top, and that should open up Claude Code for you. If you're using it for the first time, you simply have to sign into your Claude account. And now if you do /design, you will spot the design right here. If you hover over it, you'll see that this creates a design canvas, which is a multi-artboard visual design published as an artifact that runs Claude's design canvas editor. So let's give Claude Code a very quick design job so that we can see how this artboard looks like, how we can change things and tweak things. Once we're comfortable, we're going to go ahead and build a complete website using this exact workflow and then also take it live on the internet. Trust me, adding this one step in your design workflow is going to save you a lot of time if you're building websites with Claude, social media posts with it. Because for the slightest change, you can just do it yourself and not ask Claude. On top of that, if you're someone who wants to explore different designs, you can also ask Claude to generate multiple variations of it. You can compare them and choose the one that you like. Alright, so for the very first design job, I'm going to simply type design/design. I'm not going to click on it, otherwise it will send the prompt. I'm just going to type it. Now here we have to describe what to design. So I'm going to ask it to create an Instagram carousel titled Things I Wish I Knew Before Starting an AI Agency. Use these 5 lessons plus 1 call to action at the end. Now I'm going to give it the content for the carousel. Okay, so here's the content for the carousel. And here I've written the pointers that I want to include in my carousel, and lastly the call to action. We're just using Claude for the design part here. You can also use Claude to come up with the copy of the carousel, but for a carousel like this, I think you should mention your own pointers, things you have learned. Then you can continue adding more notes, anything you wanted to keep in mind. For example, here I've told it that the first page should be attractive, make it feel like hard-earned advice for someone who's actually building an AI agency. Alright, so now that we're all set, let's send this over and let's have a look at the artboard that it generates. In the first go, I'm just asking it to generate one variation, which is one carousel. But if you want, you can also ask it to generate 3 or 5 different variations in the first go itself. But I would just like to generate one, and maybe from there I might generate other variations if I don't like it. Let's see. Alright, so Claude has completed working. Now you will see this pop-up that says, do you want code to open the external website? And this will essentially open up the artboard for you. So just click on open, and here's our carousel. So this is the artboard that I was talking about. So let's start from here. So things I wish I knew before starting an AI agency, 5 lessons from actually building one, not from a course, a thread, or a guess. Okay, and then there's like a quick summary. Okay, and @ your handle. Then here's the first one, the second, the third one, and it also has the numbering at the top. Nice. And here's the fourth one. I like this one. Then the fifth one, and finally the CTA, which is a little bit different from the rest of them. Now, because this is an editable artboard, you can literally change things. For example, you can type something yourself. You can change colors. So you can go to properties. You can easily change the font. You can change the size, the color. You get it, right? So you can make all these different changes. You can also change the accent. For example, I don't really like this yellow color that much. So I can take a very light shade here. So it's very easy for you to make changes and see how it's going to look. I can also resize things. Okay. Now I'm just making these changes randomly to show you that, okay, you can do all of these different things. And let's change the font. So this way you don't have to ask Claude for the slightest changes. So I don't like this at the very top, so I can simply get rid of it. There you go. So that was making changes ourselves. If you're someone who knows how to code, you can also click on things and you can see the underlying code behind them and make changes if you want. If not, you can directly edit from here. You can see these as full screen images if you want. Now let's say that I like the overall carousel, but I don't like the CTA at all, okay? So I can ask Claude to give me 3 different variations of the CTA on the same artboard. So I'm telling it that I like the overall carousel. I made some tweaks myself, but I don't like the CTA, which is the last slide. Can you please generate 3 different variations of it? And I'm going to send it over. Also, while it's working on this, don't forget to save the changes that you make so that they're published. And you can also share this artifact with your team very easily using the share button here. Okay, so Claude has done 3 variations of the last slide, and they were based on the edits we did basically. For example, we changed the color. So 2 of its designs used that because it thought that that was our preference. And here's another one in the middle, which matches the rest of the carousel. And I think that this is the one I'd like to go with as compared to these. If we come back to Claude Code, you'll be able to spot that Claude was able to find all the changes we made manually. For example, we used this handle, we changed a few things here and there. So that not only helps Claude learn, but it also helps us make changes quicker in the future and get to the final stage more quickly. So let me tell it that we're going with option B. Let me also tell it to use my handle on all the different slides and export it. So right now it's on an artboard. You can't really put it directly on Instagram like that. So you need to ask Claude to export it for you. The only thing I want you to keep in mind is hitting this save button every time you make a change. And just like that, you'll be able to go from your very first prompt to your final exported design quickly using this artboard workflow. Okay, so the changes we asked were made and now it's exported. So essentially, if you go here and then if you go to Carousel V4, you'll find the export right here. So you'll have all your images and it has also done a PDF. And this is all on your computer under this one folder that we created in the very beginning. So you can easily send it over to your team. You can upload it directly to Instagram and it should be quite simple. So that was a quick design job that we gave Claude and no doubt it did a good job. This time we're going to generate a website. We're going to use the same /design skills so that it first shows us the website's UI before it actually codes the entire thing. Now, if you just go into Claude Code and you type /design and you tell it to create a website, I'm sorry to say, but you're going to get an AI slop website. Those same fonts doesn't look good, it's very predictable. If you want to design a good looking website, you need to give it a design direction. Either you must be creative enough to give it crucial details like what fonts to use, what colors to use, things like that. Maybe you're a designer yourself, so you can do that. But if you're someone like me that struggles with that, you can give it references. You can look for similar websites online and you can share the ones that you like so that Claude knows your taste. This is the exact same workflow that we have been following since the last couple of videos, where I've shown you how you can build beautiful looking websites with Claude. Obviously, there are other pieces attached to it, but overall, we share a design reference with Claude so that we can get away from the slop. But this time, we're going to do something different. This time, we're not only going to give it the reference and our use case, we're also going to ask it to generate 3 different variations on the artboard. So the same reference, the same use case, but come up with 3 different website UI. So that we can pick the one we like the most and maybe handpick a few things from the other designs as well, make changes ourselves, tweak things ourselves, fasten the process, and then take it live on the internet. So if you've been wanting to design a website for a long time or maybe revamping one that you already have, now's the time to do it. So let me take you to my screen now. So I'm within Claude Code. I've started a fresh chat inside of the same folder, and here I'm going to type /design and I'm going to ask it to create a website for a car rental company that looks modern and realistic. Okay? Now again, as I said, if you just send this, try sending it yourself, you'll see that the design came out to be not so good looking. So we got to give it references. So there are a lot of websites from where you can look at design inspirations. One of them is Dribbble. I'll link it in the description. So there I searched for rental website and I got these results. Actually, they're pretty good, to be honest. So you can either send one reference or a couple of them. I personally liked this one because of the layout, etc. And the other one that stood out was this one because it clearly shows the cars, etc. Now, my goal is not going to be to make this website functional so that people can rent cars, etc. That's not the goal for today because we are focusing more on the design side of things. The other ones also look nice, but I think I'm going to give these 2 as references to Claude. So I'm simply going to copy and paste. Same thing here. Then I'm mentioning that I am attaching 2 reference images of the car rental websites that I like. We don't want to copy them as is, but take inspiration. This is very important, otherwise it's going to copy the same website for you. Then I'm telling it if you need any images, simply write the prompt for the image generation. Now because it is a car rental company, obviously we will need images of cars. I can't take real car images, so I'm going to generate AI car images. So I'm telling it that if you need any images, simply write the prompt for the image generation in a prompt.md file. So in a file, it's going to write the prompt that, okay, generate a red car, generate a black sports car, whatever. And then we're going to use that prompt to generate the image in case needed. I'm just letting Claude know because Claude itself cannot generate images, which is a downside. All right, so here's our prompt, okay? And last thing I'm going to tell it is generate 3 different and distinct variations on the artboard. Use different design directions. Alright, if you don't want 3 different ones, you're fine with one, then you can skip this. But I'm gonna do 3 different ones for the same website. In case you're wondering if it consumes a lot of tokens, no, it's not that it takes a lot of tokens to generate those designs in the artboard. Obviously a little more than usual, but not too much. So you can still use this workflow without worrying a lot about the tokens. Alright, so I'm gonna send this over. Alright, so it has designed 3 different websites, 3 different directions. Now for the images, the car photo, right now it has used some placeholders, but it has also written the prompts for the images it would need. But let's first look at it without the images. And maybe we can only generate the images for the direction we want to go with. Yeah. So I'm going to go to the artifact, and here are the 3 different ones it generated. Obviously the cars are going to be replaced by real ones. So this one is more of like dark vibes, and this one is going for the light vibes, and it shows the cars. This one is more practical, I would say. The third one I don't like. Let's keep it out of picture. But for the first one, I don't like the font. Okay, yeah. Good job, Claude. So I want to give you some feedback on what you've done. So firstly, the third one, which is concierge, we want to get rid of that option completely. It is not matching what we are looking for. Coming back to A and B. So first, let me start with A. So I don't like the font selection of A at all. Can you choose a better font that would look much more premium and would go with this? Also, I don't like the accent. Can we have something much more premium? We're literally going for car rentals of luxury cars, right? So please improve that. Coming to option B, I feel that this one is much more practical with the categories and all of that, but it also at the same time looks a little plain, and I also don't like the blue accent that it has. So we are looking for something better there. And for both option A and B, the hero page looks very, very normal and it's not standing out. Can you please refer back to the reference images I sent and have a look at their heroes, how they stand out, and redesign A and B as per that? And please update the prompt file as well. Remove option C completely. Okay, so that's my feedback right there, which I'm going to send. Now, if you want, you can yourself also change the accent colors, but I don't think that even these would look nice. So I'd rather just ask Claude to show me something else. Okay, so it has completed working. Let's have a look. So these are the 2 options we have now. Okay, for this one, I think it really messed up on the font side. Let me try changing it. Yeah, something like this, I think. But yeah, still not a big fan of the first one. Let's have a look at the second. So I still like the categories, etc. here. These look a bit plain, and the hero could use a little bit of work, I think. And having a look at the accent, let me try switching. This looks fine. Maybe let's go for a deeper one. Something like this, I guess. Deep blue. So anyways, so let's sideline A and let's work on this one, which is B, and let's also generate the car images for it and ask it to work on the hero a little bit and the later section. So going back to the reference, so this was the first reference. Let's take the testimonial part and the form part and the footer from this one. And for the hero, I think I liked this one better. So let me tell Claude. So here's the prompt I'll be sending over. Sideline A, focus on B. From the first reference, I like the testimonial, the form and the footer. Use that. From the second one, I love the hero. Please use that. Update the prompt file so that this time I can finally generate the images. I've also attached the references so that it can take a look again. And let me send that over. Now, while it is doing that, let's do the setup for generating the images. So as I told you before, Claude cannot generate images, and the best way to generate them is using ChatGPT. Now, if you want, you can copy paste the prompts one by one if you just have a couple of images. But if you have a lot of images and you want them to look consistent, what you can also do is inside of VS Code, you can download Codex. So Codex is the AI coding assistant by ChatGPT, which means you can use the same image model. So you can install Codex, and at the top, you'll spot ChatGPT's icon. If you click on it, it should open up for you. So on the left, we have Claude. On the right, we have ChatGPT's Codex. So once our prompt file is written, we can ask Codex to generate the images for us and save it inside of this project. So both of these are working on the same project folder, which means they can read and write from the same one. Okay, so Claude has updated the prompt file finally. So if you go to your file system, just look for the prompt file, copy the path, come back to Codex and ask it to generate the images and save them. Refer to this file. Alright, so Codex has generated all the images. It has saved them to the project. So let me tell Claude that all the images have been generated and saved in the project folder. Okay, so Claude has integrated all the images. Let's have a look. So here's the hero. Not bad, but I think we need to get rid of the green accent. Let's try blue. Not quite visible. I think let's try this one. It looks better. The only thing is that this is not quite visible, so maybe we can change the color for this one. Alright. Okay, so this looks good. The logo still needs to be fixed. Okay, this looks good. Here we can get rid of this. Alright. We still need images here. Why does it have these brackets all over? I don't know. Okay, this looks clean as well. No changes here. Okay, now I think we can get rid of this. Alright, so here this looks a bit off. So we can ask Claude to fix that. These look fine. This is also fine. We can get rid of this. Okay. The fonts are fine as well. We can get rid of the extra brackets and this. Okay, let's give the customer a name. Alright. Okay. Cool. So I think we are good now. Alright. And make sure to save it. Now obviously it says see all 40 cars. I'm not going to build all of that, but I'm still going to keep this and this. So I hope you get my point. It is hypothetical. I'm not doing the whole thing, but I also don't want to get rid of the functionality on the main page. Okay, same goes with sign in and booking a car and all of the forms and everything. Alright, so okay, good progress I think. So we can now go back to Claude and I'm gonna dictate my prompt. Good job Claude. So a few things, we need the logo to be a real one. So write a prompt for that. We also need the images of happy renters for the hero, I think 3 images there. Also in the categories, the sports car one isn't correctly being displayed on the red background. I think something's off. Can you have a look at that? And apart from that, I think everything looks good. Yeah, so just do that bit and then we can move forward. Let me send this over. Okay, so Claude updated the prompt file. I sent it back to Codex. Codex generated them. And I told Claude that they've been generated and it integrated them. Now it's time to have a look at the final one. Alright, so the logo looks nice now and we have some real people here. I mean, not real, but you get my point. And this looks fine. Okay, not bad. I think that's it. Cool. So now I think we are all good to turn this into an actual website. So right now it's not an actual website. We'll have to ask Claude to convert it into one. And here's how you do it. So essentially, we can just continue the same chat. Let's close Codex. So let me speak to Claude. Hey Claude, great job. So we're all set to turn this into an actual website. So can you please start converting this into an actual website? While you're doing that, make sure that it is responsive across different devices and make sure to add micro and macro interactions, motions and transitions so that the website feels alive, because we've only done the design part till now and the actual website shouldn't feel plain or static. So please work on that and report back once you have the website ready for me to view. Okay, so a prompt like this could work where you're telling it that, okay, turn it into a website, make it responsive, add transitions, motions, animations, anything else that comes to your mind, you can tell it. And if you want to connect it to a backend system, you can tell it. So now I'm going to send this over. And this right here is going to take a while. So if you want, you can do something else and then come back once it is completed. So nowadays, what I usually do when I'm working with Claude Code and it's taking a while is that I start doing something else. Let's say I'm not on my desk. So then I take my phone, I open the Claude app, and from the Claude app, I click on code, and from there I can actually see the status of what is happening. So similar to this, I can see that on my phone so that I can come back at the right time when it's completed working. which is also the blue one you're seeing here, remote control. So that's something I've been using lately, so I thought I'd let you know, because sometimes Claude can really take a while to do things and you can't just sit here and watch it do that. Alright, so Claude Code has built our website. Here it is on the screen, as you can see. Beautiful. Alright, amazing. Nice. Alright. Amazing. Beautiful. It has also added these interactions, for example, with the car here, then these right here, then these images. Looks nice. Now, if you want, you can do more. You can add more motions, animations, etc. But I feel it looks nice and clean. The other thing to check is if it's responsive. So simply right click, inspect, and you can see how it looks on, let's say, a mobile phone. If anything feels off, just ask Claude to fix it for you. Make sure it looks good everywhere before you take it live. So this was our design on the artboard, and this is exactly how it turned out to be. And even better, things are moving and it's functional as well. Nice. Now, once you're satisfied with the website, how it looks, how it feels, once things are working, all the forms, all the buttons, all the menus, everything, that is when you can take this website live. So just like we exported our carousel that we built in the very beginning, we also have to kind of take the website live on the internet, because currently it is just a file on your system. Nothing more than that. And to take it live on the internet, we need a hosting and a domain. So I'm now going to show you how you can deploy this on the internet using Claude Code again. So let's get ourselves a hosting and a domain. So the easiest way of taking your website live from Claude Code or any AI coding assistant is by using Hostinger. Hostinger connects directly with your AI coding assistant, which means by just prompting it, you can deploy your website. It works with all of these different AI coding assistants like Cursor, Anti-Gravity, Claude Code, Codex, Devin, VS Code directly. You just have to install the extension or connect the MCP, and the AI agent is going to take care of the rest. And on top of that, they have amazing affordable hosting plans that you can choose from. Their business plan lets you host up to 5 web apps, 50 websites on a single hosting plan. If I talk about the resources, the plan comes with 2 CPU cores, 3 GB RAM and 50 GB of storage. So if your websites and web apps are within this limit, you can host up to 5 web apps and 50 websites. And the best part is that with this hosting plan, you would get a free domain for an entire year. Otherwise, you'd have to buy it separately, but they're giving it for free for a complete year with this hosting plan. I'm using Hostinger for hosting my own website. I use it for all my projects, client projects, and hence I'm recommending it. Because building the website alone doesn't help, you also have to deploy it. And I'm recommending it because it connects directly to Claude Code, the same AI coding assistant that we've been using throughout the video. So if you're ready to deploy your website, I'll include the link to this page in the description down below. Click on that link, you'll land right here, scroll down to the business plan and click on choose. From here, you can choose the duration. Now, while the price is already affordable, I would like to give you extra discounts. So you can use the coupon code Yashica20 to get a flat 20% off on your cart value. This coupon code is applicable on the 12 months plan, the 24 months plan, and the 48 months plan. I will include the link to Hostinger along with the coupon code. Use it to get flat 20% off when you're hosting your website. Once you're all set, simply click on continue and create an account. Now let me show you the rest of the process. Okay, so I'm inside my Hostinger H panel. After that, simply scroll down on the home page to your to-do list and claim your free domain. So you can easily type the domain you are looking for and you can claim it. It's very simple and straightforward. I've already claimed it for another demo of mine. And once you have claimed that, then we can connect Claude Code to Hostinger. So essentially go back to the link that I had shared in the description, scroll down and go to Claude Code. After that, copy this command right here. Inside Claude Code, start a new chat and ask it to install this. and simply paste what we just now copied. Okay, so this is installed. Now I'm going to type, I want to authenticate. That is going to open this up on your browser. Simply allow it, and that should complete the authentication process. Alright. Now we can tell Claude Code to deploy it. Hey Claude, I want you to access my Hostinger account and find the business hosting plan I just now bought. I then want you to deploy the car rental website we have just now built securely onto my hosting plan. After that, attach it to the domain I have, which is terracottatrailquiz.com. Once it is deployed, let me know and hopefully I should be able to access it from the domain I have. Alright, so in simple words, just ask it to find the hosting plan, deploy your website, and then connect it to the domain you just now claimed. And it has started the process. Alright, so the deployment completed, and as you can see on this domain, we have our website live. There you go, beautiful website, amazing. And that was our journey of designing a website with Claude Code, wherein we were able to see different variations, choose the one we like, change certain parts of it, make changes ourselves, and then also deploy it on the internet. So that was all I had to cover on the new design skill by Claude. I really hope that you will be using this skill whenever you're designing something with Claude. And if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. I will include the link to Hostinger along with the coupon codes for whenever you're ready to host your website. Do not forget to use them to get the best possible deals and discounts. If anyone is interested in working with my agency, where we're helping businesses use AI as a part of their everyday operations, do not forget to check out the link to our website in the description. If anyone is interested in my consulting service, the link to my consulting calendar is in the description for one-on-one calls. If you want to see more exclusive content from my end, do not forget to follow me on X and do send me a connection request on LinkedIn. If this video was valuable, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification, if possible, hype it. So yeah, that is pretty much it from my side. I will meet you in the next one. Till then, bye!